A couple of years ago, KTM introduced its 790 platform of mid-weight bikes and all was good for a while. Then they got bored and decided they could do better and moved everything over to a new 890 platform. They started with the 890 Duke R, a mad midweight naked street bike with lots of track prowess. Then came the 890 Adventure, KTM's midweight off-road and on-road touring bike in a couple of different models, and all again was good for a while. Until now, when KTM definitely decided they forgot something and came out with the base 890 Duke, basically a less mental R version. Welcome back to Long Way Home, everyone. The place where getting your motorcycle news is easier than finding a light mid-class adventure bike, but not by much. Let's see how the base 890 Duke stacks up to the 890 Duke R and most importantly to the not so really old 790 Duke. Stick around. One of the biggest changes from the 790 Duke to the 890 Duke is in the name. The new 889cc parallel twin engine now manages to put out 10 horses more than the 790, bringing the total number to 115, and even though it's larger than the 790, KTM managed to make it actually lighter. Redline has also gone up by 500 RPM to 10,500 RPM. But the real good news is that it's now able to deliver 81 Newton meters or 60 foot-pounds of torque from as low as 5,500 RPM. Brilliant for actual day-to-day fun and not just track shenanigans. It also has 20% more rotating mass thanks to a heavier crankshaft, improving cornering stability through increased inertia and a much better low-rev engine response. Compared to the R, however, you are losing 6 horsepower and a few torques. The engine is identical, however, just tuned a bit differently, with the R being more track-focused while the base Duke is more day-to-day focused. Moving on, the suspension on the base 890 Duke is identical to the one on the Duke R. 43mm WP Apex forks in the front and an Apex shock in the back. Both fully adjustable, and fun fact here, they both come with settings for high and low speeds. So KTM really didn't cheap out on suspension components for both Dukes. Now, compared to the 790 Duke, apart from the advantages you get from the new engine, same weight, more power, electronics is where the 890 gets a lot more upgrades. And I've never thought I would say this when talking about a motorcycle in my life, but the 890 Duke has a much more powerful processor. Coupled together with the new 6-axis IMU, you now get access to a wealth of different ABS and traction control settings, so you can set up the Duke to mimic the exact hooligan mood you are in that day. Everything from lean angle sensitive traction control, cornering ABS, rear lift mitigation, and if you go for the optional track mode, you can stick your nose in that computer and customize all of these functions to your heart's content. In 30 years, Dave, they'll just be like a computer with 2 wheels. That's it. That's all we're gonna get. Apart from the small downgrade in engine performance, where the base 890 Duke differs from the R version is in 2 places. The brakes, they are not 320mm Brembo style emmers like on the R, but KTM branded calipers on 300mm discs and seat height. While the Duke R has a seat height of 834mm or 32.8 inches, the base Duke drops that down to 820mm or 32.2 inches in an effort to be a little more comfortable while riding on the street. So in conclusion, not much of a difference between the base 890 Duke and the R version. No pricing has been made available as of writing this, so I can't really compare them on price. The R is your more mental track version, while the base should behave better for day-to-day use. However, the differences between the base and the 790 Duke are quite substantial, and since that came out a little over 3 years ago, I feel your pain if you just got one. The 790 platform seems to have been a stepping stone for KTM to get to the 890 platform, and quite a small stepping stone at that. Nonetheless, why don't you drop down in the comment section below and let us all know how you think the 890 Duke stacks up to its competition in this segment like Yamaha's MT-09 and why not even Aprilia's new 200 660. We've done a video about that, make sure you check it out. Well, that's the show for today everyone. If you've enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, and if you think you've learned something new, consider subscribing or becoming one of our patrons to help us make more of these shows. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.